Good morning, everybody. I decided to wake up this morning and really show up my face because today it's a new day, and today is April 6th already. April 6th, wow, 2020. And I'm right here drinking it's not coffee. I will have my coffee later, but not right now. My warm lemon with water. Warm water with lemon. Just a half of it because my stomach actually gets a little bit, what is that called? It gets a little bit too much acidity. It hurts my stomach. So I learned to just do a little bit of something and a little bit of something else so that it doesn't bother me. And I wanted to do this video just being realistic because this morning I actually wanted to wake up at 5:30 a.m. in the morning. It didn't happen. It usually happens sometimes, and today it just didn't happen. So I wanted to share that even though you want to make certain changes in your life and you want to become better, I know that sometimes even when you write it down and when you have good self-discipline, you still don't always have it together all the time, so this is an example of me just showing you. And I just want to tell you that I'm a mom, first of all, and being a mom, it's we put everybody else first. We put our kids first. We even put our husbands or our boyfriends first. And sometimes we ended up, most of the time we end up putting ourselves last. So if you are on the right track to creating change in your life, then and you are doing it, you wrote it down and you're trying to do make changes every day, then that's a good thing. Just because you fail sometimes here and there, that doesn't mean that you're not gonna make it, or you're just not gonna make that change that you want, or you're not gonna see results. And by the way, I woke up with my hair like this. Like, I just put it to the side because I had it on a ponytail, and I'm sure the back of it looks really crazy. So it's real. It's not, I didn't brush it, I didn't do nothing. It's just me. That's it. It's Miss Rosa. That a lot of you know me as Miss Rosa or Rosa. So just remember that even when you have things put together and you wrote things down and you're very organized, that we are bound to make mistakes, and we are bound to have days where we just don't do it. We literally just relax, or it takes our body a little bit longer to get up. But as long as you're doing it, that's a good thing. So for example, like this morning, I wanted to wake up at 5:30 and I wanted to do it with my son, and my son still hasn't woken up yet. So even though that was the plan, but it's a good thing to have a plan. Didn't happen, but I woke up at 6:15 and fighting with my mind, so to be able to do what it is that I needed to do, and just to get up, I prayed. I thank God for this day. And also I wanted to keep it real with you guys, because even though sometimes you see certain things in social media, sometimes we think that somebody's life is perfect, and it is not. Or some people like to show certain things to say that their life is good, but it's not. And I'm just, I want to keep it real 100%. My back has been bothering me. I think because I've been doing a lot of home work and sitting down, and Even though I'm eating healthy, my lower back has always been an issue after I had my son. So that's been bothering me, and I've been trying to like move more, and I've been going to my chiropractor too and taking my supplements for anti-inflammatory, and hopefully eventually I'm gonna be doing better. And today I just wanted to read something that I wrote on, it looks like November 13th, 2019. Without knowledge, the process of learning becomes distinct. Okay? Without knowledge, the process of learning becomes distinct. Because knowledge, remember, it's actually doing things. It's actually telling your mind or telling yourself that you want to do something different. And if you choose to not, if you choose to do something different, you have to take the action steps so that your mind, body, and soul are doing everything together. And once that happens, then there's where you become knowledgeable about how to do certain things and how to make your body become one, and not have like your mind, yes, I want to do this, but your heart is like, nah, I don't want to do it, and your body's like, definitely not, I don't want to do it. So when you become knowledgeable, that means that you are intact with yourself. And remember that without self-discipline, everything remains the same, and there is no change. So the self-discipline comes even is part of knowledge, because even though, like I said, you can, like me, like I didn't wake up so early today and I failed in that part, I'm going to continue to practice it, and I'm going to continue to do it in a different way. I'm not going to give up. And the more I do it, the more knowledgeable I become, and the more, and that's me telling my body, becoming more self-disciplined in the goal that I want to accomplish. And remember that without communication, we fall on the same trap of chaos. So without communication, we fall on the same trap of chaos, meaning like whether it is with your kids, whether it is with yourself, whether it is with your husband or your boyfriend, communication is huge. And a lot of the time we like to do our communication with our body language, and just like it shows whether we want to do something or we don't, even our facial expression, which is non-verbal, right? And a lot of time it brings chaos within ourselves and our body, because we just end up we wanted to communicate something, but then we think of all of these million things why we shouldn't, right? Or maybe you just don't know how to communicate, or maybe you haven't been given an opportunity to be open, to be able to talk to your partner, to your kids, to yourself. My communication has always been that I write things down, and I think about things if I don't have nobody else to talk to. I also just eventually, when I get my thoughts together, whether it is with my son, like I express myself to him, like, hey, this is what's going on, this is what I need you to do. If you don't do it, then this is how much this will will cost us, so this is why I get frustrated. And like, I don't like chaos, and chaos can mean, to me, I think that it's it comes in many different ways. Chaos sometimes comes with even your body and how healthy you're eating, and you're just like, well, where do I start? Where do I go? And how do I do it? Well, first you have to learn, first you have to educate yourself. Once you educate yourself, then you can start making those action steps. And then once you take those action steps, you start realizing what it is that your body wants and needs, and how it's reacting towards those changes. And if it's not working for you, then you try something different. For example, for myself, when when I started changing my diet or the way I eat was because especially after I had my son, I remember my son couldn't, because I was breastfeeding for a whole year. I noticed that he couldn't even have broccoli, he couldn't have certain foods because he was a very colicky baby. And then once he was colicky, he cried all the time, his stomach would hurt. So then even myself, my stomach hurt too, really, really bad. So then eventually I started saying, you know what, it's gotta be something that I'm eating. But because I was in a position of not knowing and also not wanting to, no, it's not that I didn't want to learn, it's that I was in a position of, if I wanted to learn, I wasn't allowed to, in a way, because everybody that I was around was like, nah, you're just overstressing yourself, nah, you're just overthinking about it, nah, it's just you. And I'm like, dang, like my face was breaking out, my stomach was hurting me, and I was bloated, and it looked like if I was pregnant, but people thought it was me. So I listened to people who like that, and because I listened, then I stopped myself from educating myself and actually making changes. Once I started living on my own, and I started making my, like I'm paying my own bills too, and I started looking at the foods that I was eating, and I was like, okay, I can't have this because it looks like every time I have, for example, extra olive oil, I can't have extra olive oil. I can't cook with it. I can't even eat nothing, even though a lot of people say it's healthy. I can't. My face will break out. The other thing is, like, even the fruits and vegetables, a lot of the fruits and vegetables, like for example, I made myself this morning a shake, and this shake is actually like banana, dark cranberries, organic cranberries, and oatmeal with water. Okay, so that's what I'm having this morning. But if I was to put cranberry, banana, cranberry, banana, apples, other, even mixing vegetables, my stomach would be killing me. And you can see that all of those things that I just mentioned was healthier, but it will hurt. So just remember, my message is that you have to learn how to communicate with yourself, with your body, with your friends, with your partners, with your family, so that you can make necessary steps to changing who you want to be and the goals that you want to accomplish. And the other thing is that if you yourself don't have self-discipline, don't wait for others to do it for you. Do it for yourself. Educate yourself first. Take, even if it's small steps, like I stopped eating chicken. And the way I stopped eating chicken wasn't because somebody told me, stop eating chicken. Don't, that's bad, that's this. No, I educated myself. I actually watched if you guys was to watch the movie, What the Health, Health, watch that one. Read books, and also I started tasting something in the chicken that I just didn't really like. Like I started tasting all this stuff, extra stuff, and I was like, this is not normal. So it took away the appetite for me wanting to eat chicken. And eventually I went from like just buying regular chicken to like organic to like less and less. And then I was like, you know what, I don't need it. And I haven't done it since. And remember that knowledge is the process of learning and becoming like knowledgeable, and not just that, becoming a new you, a person that you want to become eventually. It's not gonna happen right away. I promise you, it's not gonna happen. But if you take your time and you actually ask those and you follow those who actually know better than you too, that's a great way to do it. So that's my message to you guys. And I'm gonna go live over here. Let me see if I can talk to Kayla. She's from Funda Niños, and I'm gonna see how we can catch up with